it's in the name, wellness, and it's in the name of this program. To me, wellness starts with awareness, consciousness of what's around us, what we're feeling, what we're doing, and we go from there. So what I'd like you to do is just for about 30 seconds, close your eyes, and as you close your eyes, or after you close your eyes, imagine and reconstruct this room. And think about what, and visualize what you remember about this room, whether it's the walls or the floors or the ceilings or anything else that you've been exposed to and been immersed in for some minutes or even an hour or so. It'll just take 30 seconds or so. Okay, you can start opening your eyes, unless you prefer to keep them closed. If you find that more relaxing, that's fine. So now it's just some simple questions in terms of what you remember. How many people here can picture the pattern of the carpet? Raise your hand. 2 or 3 of you, maybe 4 of you or so. How many people here can remember or visualize the fact that there's a flag in the corner? Also about a little less than half of you. How many people here can visualize the pattern, or even that there is this fairly ornate curtain behind me? That one's just about all of you, because maybe it was right straight ahead. How many people can visualize or remember that there was a large flat screen to my left? Okay, and are there other aspects of the room that you remember or can visualize that you just want to mention briefly? Yes?
The 2 tables separated by the podium.
Okay, 2 tables. Anybody else? The ceiling? The trim on the ceiling?
There's people sitting.
Okay, can you picture the faces of some of the people? Or okay, fair enough. Or the backs of them. Anything else?
Chairs and wires.
The chairs, okay. How many people feel that basically after this exercise you have a sense that you really were pretty aware, not just of the speaker, presuming that you were aware of the speakers, and your mind wasn't drifting, and of course our minds drift all the time, so there's nothing wrong with that. It's bringing it back. But that you had a pretty good sense of your physical surroundings. How many people would say you did? How many people, after doing this exercise, would think that, maybe I really didn't?
Didn't.
Oh, didn't. Okay, so bad.
My mind was focused on the speaker.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Okay.
The words.
Kind of eliminated everything.
And eliminated everything else. And sometimes that's appropriate. And I'm not suggesting it shouldn't have been. What I'm simply suggesting is there's so much information around us. And at least I find, as much as I attempt to practice mindfulness, how unmindful I often am in some of the things that are most pressing and surrounding. We had at District Wellness, we had a Congressman Tim Ryan, who many of you probably know or know of, who wrote a book called A Mindful Nation. He spoke to a group of about 50 of us at District Wellness, and we're located right near DuPont Circle, a couple of months ago. And so I arranged a little experiment there, where as people walked to our studio, they walked in a corridor, and I had a sort of fabric up that had a kind of Eastern saying about being aware of life. And I basically took that fabric with the saying and I turned it upside down. And then I asked people at a mindfulness lecture how many people noticed it was upside down, and not one person did. So again, this is not to be critical or not to be anything, but simply that it's the idea of focusing on what's around us and consciously deciding where to put your attention as opposed to unconsciously. And if you made a conscious decision that you were just going to focus on the speaker, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you just sort of did that as opposed to something else, so I just mentioned that as a kind of to me, that's the beginning of wellness, is awareness. And obviously it goes into lots of other dimensions: awareness of your body, of how you're feeling, what your strength, your weaknesses, your anger, and so forth. It's basically making the unconscious conscious, if you will. So that's point number one. I just want to make three quick points in my 6 or 7 minutes here. The second thing I'd like to say is just a tiny bit about district wellness and my background. As Judy mentioned, we're, I don't know if we're full service, I don't know if there is such a thing as full service, but we have lots of different modalities that we offer about a block from DuPont Circle. We have 12 different practitioners and other people who come in for special workshops, including Steve, for example, who came in, Steve Schafferman, to do his training several months ago. We do massage, we do acupuncture, I do life and wellness coaching, we do personal training, we do yoga, we do some Pilates, nutritional counseling, and so forth. And that's my advertisement. If you're interested in coming, we have I have some cards with me and so forth. But beyond that, my own background, for years I worked in government, in local government, and one of my passions was to bring wellness into local government, and that's why I'm excited to be here, because I work with a lot of people, some of whom are here in this building or other places on Capitol Hill, to try to infuse wellness into their day-to-day work. And lastly, I simply want to say that by having Congressman Ryan come in December to talk about mindfulness, we hope that that's going to be a kickoff to identifying people in leadership positions in the city and in the region who are taking wellness, who are taking mindfulness, who are taking holistic perspectives on life and applying it to their organizations to humanize them and enhance the quality of life for the people who are in them on a day-to-day basis. And so we're calling it Politics and Consciousness, and where we have a speaker coming up soon who I can't identify yet, who runs a major private organization. If any of you know of people like that, please get in touch with me, because we really hope to begin to make that stronger connection between people's personal wellness and how they transform institutions, small or large, to be healthier and happier for their inhabitants, and ultimately then for the people that they serve. Thank you very much.